Hey, hey, it's Jen with Every Kind of I Do, and I'm here to talk about love stories and expressions of couples of all of my career, honestly. I will go back and forth in time with you and talk about wonderful details, the things that they did, the fashion that they wore, and the love stories that deserve to be told and shared in all different varieties and formats. So here's the thing. We're going to get right into it, y'all, because these episodes are short and sweet, and I like to talk about a variety of different things in regards to my couples. So this one is entitled Your Faith and Your Wedding Chapel Inspo. Now, there was a previous episode where I did kind of talk about that, where it didn't matter what faith you were, if you found a venue that kind of like you really liked it and you wanted to kind of like highlight it in your wedding. This is something like this is much more intertwined with their faith and belief and the building that they chose, which I think is lovely. So there's a lot of rituals that can happen with traditional, non-traditional weddings. To me, this still fits in within the Weirdo Weddings brand because it is something that is expressive to who they are. I'm not going to tell you what to believe, and I'm not going to tell you what faith is right or wrong. That's not my job. I don't ever want to do that. What I do want to do is celebrate you exactly as you are and who you are now, and whatever faith that might be, I'm going to be standing right there capturing it. And I want to be sure that I'm capturing it in a respectful way to the place of worship, to the places and the people that are standing around you. There's no need to be disruptive. And a lot of times, a lot of churches, let's say Catholic churches, have a lot of restrictions on flash. So, a lot of times when I'm capturing these kinds of more religious weddings anyway, I'm not using a flash. So I just move around the room in the best way possible, honoring the space. So this one in particular, I chose this image to start with because I do believe there's an outward representation of their faith as a couple. So you have the lights of the candles burning, you have the crowns that are joined together, and it made me think of my big fat Greek wedding. And I've had a couple of weddings like this, which I hate to label things, but it was more of an Orthodox ceremony to where I think one was definitely a Greek Orthodox. This could be different. I don't really know, but it reminded me of the one I did in Boston, and it reminded me of my big fat Greek wedding where they were, doing rituals in this way to show their faith and the honor before God. So I really love the details on this. And so I want to zoom in on a couple of things here. The golden candles with the light at the top, and also the crowns that are used in this ceremony. They're both very lovely, and they came into the space with the support, like the physical support. It wasn't just people standing there, like there was an actual ritual of them walking in as supported by whoever their chosen friends and family were that brought them in. So I really felt like this wedding was just super special because I have a tie to this family with um the nieces of the bride here, and I had met them over the years, and then she called me up and she's like, "Hey, I'm getting married," and and all that. And I was like, "I would love to shoot your wedding. This is amazing." So, just to give you an idea, after all the rituals are over, everything has been walked through. This is standing room only kind of church, so there was no benches except for the elderly or disabled. Um, so the space was fully free flow in the way it was set up. You have carpets, you have runners, and you have a big altar up at the front and several pictures of different faith-filled kinds of things. So this is them coming out after their ceremony, but I wanted to highlight their their cute outfits here. So she's got this beautiful white and lacy creamy gown, and she's got this flower detail and a very, very simple suit here with a simple tie. And you know what? They're like kids again, honestly. Getting married, I remember them interacting with each other and they're just having a good time. And I really, really wanted to showcase this chapel or the church and the building space back to the architecture I love so much. So this wide shot, I was doing that. Like you can see everybody standing around watching. You can clearly see them walking down the aisle with their support partners here. And I just thought it was just super special to like a celebration of their love and their faith and their unity. So here we go. Everybody's cleared out of the room. And I thought to myself, what would I do inside of this space that honors the ceremony that just took place? And I do have to say, at looking at these again, the lighting candelabras are absolutely phenomenal, right? The big ceiling structures that are hanging low enough to the ground to where it brings in enough light. And then I captured this one up here and I'm like, wow, because it all kind of works together. You have this big archway. You have a big, I think it was a sunlight coming in. So all this beautiful natural light pouring in right now. And then you have the archways that are, the symmetrical archways, the different portraits. You could tell there was some music stands over here, varieties of different things hanging on the wall. But look at the floor. You've got the round and the squares and the rectangles. So I love everything about this. And it's not overwhelmingly huge, and it housed enough people to be in there comfortably. So, and just so you can get an idea of the outside, you'll see that, well, not only was it a beautiful sunny day, but you had amazing clouds in the sky. So this kind of lighting leads me into that architectural and landscape moment here that you can see they're hanging. I know it's kind of like far away, but they're hanging out right here. There they are, right there. And I wanted to showcase the actual entirety of the building. Now, here's another thing too, like the chapels and venue spaces that you're having your wedding at, it could look not so good from one side and really awesome from the other side. You remember in an earlier episode, I talked about the castle at Rockwall? Like, if you go to the very opposite side, you're not going to see what you see at that entrance. And this one, I do believe it was different on the far side than it was over here. But I did photos in the shade and I did photos in the sun. So this gave me the ability to showcase the building and the space for them so they could have this for their wedding book or whatever they chose to do with all the images. And I just think it was a super special place. So when you're thinking about your faith and you're thinking about expressing in the house of worship that you're involved in, um, let your photographer know if there's any restrictions. It just helps them, or get them in contact with the point person at the church or the house of worship. That way, the photographers, those of us that need to follow the rules, will know exactly what to expect. And but otherwise, I usually follow the rule of don't get in the mixture of the ceremony, don't get too close, and unless I have permission. All right. So I hope you enjoyed this unique little episode today. I really enjoyed it because I love all of my clients. They're all amazing, and I'm always inspired every single time that I go back and look at these pictures, and I never get tired of talking about how awesome you are. So, this is Jen with Weirdo Weddings Photography, and I am going to catch you on the next episode.